live on my end. So, let's see. All right, sweet. And we are now live. Greetings, readers and travelers. My name is Richie Stevens, and this is Stats on Stats. Today we are joined by a second time returning guest. You know him as the author of Darklands Online and the guy who accidentally started the apocalypse, and his very first novel, Through the Oak Tree Rift, Mr. David J. Bushman. David, how we doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you for returning. We've been wanting to get you back on the show, but we were waiting for that audio to drop for, the guy who accidentally started the apocalypse because who boy, it's good. It's really good. But before we dive into that, we just have a few things to go over really quickly because we got a fun list of shows coming up and just some basic housekeeping. We do have a giveaway that will be going launch. Also, Zeckler, welcome in, buddy. Welcome. We love you. Thanks for tuning in. We have a giveaway that we will be doing after Dragon Con, so at the start of next month, where you'll have the chance to earn some pretty cool stuff. So first prize will be a complete set of the first books in the Artem series,
Nice.
and then winners 2 through 5 will get to have a choice at which book in the Artem series. And oh, I should mention these books are going to be signed too. So Jez, Lars, Kevin, Don, all their stuff. And we got TJ in the chat. In his pants. All right. So, but welcome everyone. We are so happy to have you guys here. And you know what? Joining me as always, Mr. Joel Harvey. Joel, how we doing?
I'm good. The man who needs no introduction because
Yeah, you
you
don't need an
waited so
introduction.
long.
You're
No, it's good. I'm doing good.
and Dave, we're doing good as well.
Oh yeah.
All right. That's always a plus. So we'll go ahead and we're just gonna dive straight into it because the guy who accidentally started the apocalypse. I think the title says it all. But Dave, give us a little bit of background on the guy who accidentally started the apocalypse.
All right. This was a book that a lot of people told me not to write because it's lit FPS, which doesn't do well in our genre. But I really wanted to write it. I love Apex Legends, and I know you guys do too.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, and it was a major inspiration, along with Titanfall and a few other games. But I couldn't get it out of my head. Decided I was going to write it, so I did, and it's really been received well. I've been really happy with it.
Well, we are happy that you wrote it because I mean, it gave me my favorite side character. It really did. Well, we're going to talk about him. I'm going to have a whole just moment dedicated to him, but we'll get to him in a minute. So, give us a pretty much, brief synopsis. It's, the guy who accidentally started the apocalypse because of a wish.
Well, the start of it is kind of goofy, but uh, most isekai is that way. And while this is an isekai, I thought I wanted to start it off with something a little crazy. So we had the wishing stone
Mm-hmm.
that Cameron finds, and that kind of kicks off the apocalypse, the Armageddon, and it's just kind of a goofy way to go about it. I always wanted to do something a little different because you know there's so many times guy gets hit by a truck, transported to another realm, and then we start. I wanted to just do something a little different, so that's kind of why I came up with that.
And I mean, it's all started because of a wish. He sees
Yes.
the homeless guy on the street at the very beginning, and he gives him, is it a gift card?
Yeah. Well, a rewards card.
Rewards card.
He had the last punch punched on it, so there was a free 6-inch sub, and you know he gives it to the guy, and the guy gives him the wishing stone in return because he says he's a wizard, which is kind of unbelievable. He's like, okay, you're just a crazy homeless guy, so I'm gonna keep going now. But it turns out the guy's telling the truth.
Yeah, and he says, "Now be careful with that last wish because it's literally one wish."
Right.
And yeah. Shit hits the fan.
Yeah, he wasn't so careful.
No, he
That's
wasn't. But it was unintentional too.
well, yeah. All the best wishes are.
True. It's kind of like a monkey's paw situation.
Absolutely.
And that's because I kind of pictured it. Damn it, TJ. We love you, TJ. You're the best. Um, I pictured the scene in Rick and Morty where Summer's working for the devil essentially at the shop, and he's just selling cursed items. I was like, yep, that's just a cursed item. It's not
Oh
an
yeah.
actual magic rock. It's cursed. So, and this where we start, it takes place in what, Boston?
No,
Or
just a nondescript Midwest town. I didn't name the first town just because one of the things I like to do is I like to keep things vague on certain aspects when the start of a story. That way, we can get a little bit more self-insertion from the reader.
Mhm.
Like it could be anybody's town. Cameron could be anybody, and I just, I for our first town for it starting out, it didn't really need to be anybody in particular. Just that way, the reader could be like, ah, this could be my town. This could be, somewhere where I grew up.
Right. And I mean, I when you started talking about Kroger and everything, I was like, oh yeah, that is definitely just a Midwesterner thing because going out to when I moved out to Colorado and everything, it was King Supers, it was City Market. I was like,
Right.
no, it's it's Kroger. Call it what it is. It's Kroger. So I was just like, you know what, I'm enjoying the Midwesterner like vibes that the setting gives, even though it isn't, a named town. It's like, okay, this could be like, Greenwood, Indiana, or not really Cincinnati, Ohio, but
Right.
you know what I mean. But then we get a really interesting system because, yes, lit FPS it's more of a lesser done subgenre because we don't have a lot of FPSs. Speaking of which, Mr. Stephen Landry has joined the chat. What up, Stephen? Um, I think lit FPS is a nice break from doing normal lit RPG, and I love
Oh,
it
absolutely.
because we have some really good ones. First one comes to mind: Overtaken Online by Ben. Fantastic series. Oh my god.
Absolutely. Troy Osgood has a really good one too.
Rifleman.
Battlegrounds Online.
The first book's Rifleman, right? I think I have that
Yes,
one.
yes, I believe
Yeah,
so.
Neil Helligers narrates it, if I am not
Yes,
mistaken, and it is good. It is so good.
and it's just a lesser tried subgenre of lit
Mm-hmm.
RPG, and Ben's stuff is really good. Steven with Stardivers, he dabbles into lit FPS there.
But yeah, it's
It's
good.
it's there, but there's just not a lot of it, and it's not as sought out as some of your more traditional EverQuest, World of Warcraft style
Right.
lit
And then
RPG.
TJ, who's in the chat, has a lit FPS coming out towards the end of the year. It'll be on Royal Road at the end of the month, and I'm excited for that
Oh,
one.
nice.
Oh, I'm excited for that one. Call Sign Bloodbath, I think, is the title, and
Okay.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. So I'm glad to see that this genre is growing a little bit because lit RPG it's evolving every day.
Oh yeah.
We're getting new titles. Maybe 3 or 4 new titles a week. It feels like, and I'm okay with that. It just means my pile is getting bigger to read, and I'm not complaining. We're not complaining about that. So, Joel,
Yeah.
what do you want to bring up? Being quiet over there.
Um, yeah, no. I think Dave really nailed the FPS feel in in this one. It honestly kind of reminds me of like a Modern Warfare Zombies, sort of.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I definitely got that vibe from it. They're more like plant-based like creatures, but it definitely felt like a zombie post-apocalypse vibe. Um,
I'm gonna smack Steven later.
Yeah, I mean, Zeklor and I have played a lot of Gears of War. There's a little bit
Mm.
of inspiration there, like just the Horde mode, and I kind of wanted something similar to that with the growth. Just countless drones that can just hit you with wave after wave after wave, and so there's a little bit of Gears of War there. Uh, Modern Warfare Zombies, my son has played a ton of that, so there is some influence there. I mean, it's drawn on I don't know how many different games because I love first person shooters myself.
All right, so I'm gonna do a call out really quickly because last episode I got bullied relentlessly in a fun way. I'm getting bullied again. Guys, attack Joel for once. God damn.
I
My
don't know.
therapy class is gonna be growing.
It feels bad to attack the autistic kid.
You're not wrong, but I make fun of it all the time for myself. It's okay. Joel,
I was
hate
talking
you.
about
I hate
myself,
you.
but oh well.
Shit. All right. So, I mean, and that's just the vibes of, first person shooters in general is the lobbies are always toxic as hell.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Which we
man.
absolutely.
got some toxic masculinity in some of the characters and what's his name in the group always trying to challenge
It's
Cameron.
like a prince or something.
oh, yeah, Damien.
Damien, yeah. Fuck Damien. That's all I got to say. He's my least favorite character in the series so far.
You know he's supposed to fill that role. He's the guy that you get grouped with, and you would never hang out with that guy, but you got to make do because he's here.
He's that one random.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's like you got a trio and you're like, "Okay, we need a fourth player. Let's just bring the random in."
It's either that or it's your buddy's buddy who you don't
Oh my
really
god.
like, but you have to put up with him anyway.
And that's how I met Joel's cousin, Clayton. I'm kidding. I love Clayton. Oh, yeah, by the way, Joel, I saw Clayton the other day. He said hi.
Oh, cool.
He says he's seen me more than he's seen you in the past few years.
Probably. I
So,
believe it.
yeah. I forgot to tell you. It just reminded me. So, but let's talk about my boy really quickly. The best side character, and who boy,
Me.
Daniel Wisniewski does a fantastic job. And that is my boy Polly. Polly is the best side character of
Well,
recent.
I'll tell you, with the audio, the one caveat Zeklor and I went back and forth on so often is whoever we found to do the audio, they had to nail Paulie. He's such a big catalyst throughout the whole book. And it's like, okay, I got Jessica on. We picked out Jessica because she could do the Aussie voices, and she does so well with the Alexa knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
But we're like, we got to nail Paulie, and we were going through samples of different guys, and I was talking to David who did the audio for Darklands, and he's like, okay, well, who do you want? And we got a short list of author or narrators. Everybody's busy except Daniel. Daniel had a spot he could fit us in. And I'm like, Daniel's awesome. He did great work on First Fist, which is a
Shout out to
really
Rose.
yeah, absolutely great book. And I'm like,
Fantastic book.
if we can get Daniel, this that he'll kill it. I know he will. So we end up getting him, and I'm so glad we delayed the audio as long as we did because they just killed it between Jessica and Daniel.
No rest for the wicked. That is right, Facebook user, which I think is John. I'm switching back over. Yeah, it's John. All right, hi John. So no, Daniel is one of my favorite narrators, and he's a long time, returning guest on the show. We've had him on 4 times now, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
Which we've had him on more than Zach Johnson, which is saying something because we've had Zach Johnson on almost for everything. So Zach's got to regain his title back. Come on, Zach. Um, no, Paulie, he killed it with Paulie. He got
Oh
that Cammy voice down. Hey
yeah.
Cammy,
Uh,
just perfect, perfect. Daniel, if you're listening to this, we love you. Also, come back on the show. We would like to have you back on the show. Because the last time I had him on, he was just promoting, like, we just did a Silver Tongues episode, which actually the very first Silver Tongue segment we did was with Rose, Rebecca Woods, and Daniel to promote First Fist.
Okay. Okay.
So that's just, it's kind of full circle at that point. So shout out to Daniel. And Jessica killed it, which, of course, anything Jessica 3 puts out, I'm going to listen to. She's had a great list this year alone and last year. Actually, she just has a good list in general. So there's so many good, talented narrators in this genre. Which, when the audiobook was still in production and everything, we were wondering who was going to be doing it, because I figured it might be David and Jessica, who did Darklands for you.
Right.
And they did a good job on that series, which, shout out to Darklands Online. We love Darklands. I need more of it.
I love the reference
So,
Oh, thank you.
that you threw in there for Darklands.
I I nearly took it out because it seemed a little heavy-handed, but I was just like, you know what? I have to throw the Easter egg in, so I kept
darn
it.
that Easter egg.
Yeah.
We love having Easter eggs in our books and seeing universes connected and everything.
Right.
So, Mr. A.R. Holloway has joined the chat. What up? We're getting a lot of fun people in here tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Which, multitasking this between, this is our first multi-stream, so we have it over on Twitch and Facebook. So this is new for us, guys. So bear with us. I'm trying to go back and forth between both chats, so I apologize. God damn it, DJ, I hate you. I'm not giving you any wings when we're down at Dragon Con now.
Mhm.
All being mean to me. So we talked about a little bit of the inspiration. You said Titanfall, some Apex Legends, because lit FPS is, FPSs.
Right.
So, and yes, AR Holloway, we are going to Dragon Con this year. Well, Joel and I are, and Dave, I wish you were going.
I will not be making. It's such a hard time of the year. Like that's right when my kids start back up to school. So like my son's in high school. My daughter's going to be in high school. Well, she's in eighth grade now, but I mean we have so much going on. It's hard to get away for that particular con.
Right. Well, it stinks because I'm getting a Mr. Landry got me a copy of the Get Good anthology,
Oh,
and he's signing it, and I was like, I just need to get everyone to sign it.
that's a task. I mean,
It is. It
there's
is.
a lot of people spread out across the globe.
I'm we're just gonna have to send it as like a mailing list. Just instead of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, it's I don't even know. Authorhood of the Lit RPGs. There we go.
Yes. I mean,
So,
Damien's in Korea, so that's gonna be a hike.
oh boy, this poor book is gonna be all over the world. So, Joel,
Yeah,
let's talk about your favorite thing.
my favorite thing. What is my favorite
Mechanics.
thing? Mechanics. That's it.
Oh,
Um, talking about mechanics. One thing I really liked. Well, I love the AI for starters, and he sort of introduces the whole system, and it's kind of variable in a lot of parts where he's like, oh, you just earn these points and unlock certain things, and he's like, oh, that's a battle pass.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
damn battle pass.
So I was like, that's pretty cool.
yeah. And
Um,
Oh,
I wanted to do something a little different with Rory. He's a energy based alien rather than an AI.
mm-hmm.
But because so many times we have an AI in lit RPG,
Yeah,
or it varies. Like Tao Wong does his
Ollie.
spirit, yes, his spiritual AI. But I wanted something different, but to serve the same function, to kind of handhold us early on, and to provide a little bit of snark and banter. And so I thought, well, let's do an alien, but I wanted it to be something very alien.
Right.
He's not humanoid at all. He's a ball of light. So it was just a little something different with him.
And that's one thing also I really like about the lit FPS versions in Apocalypse and this apocalyptic setting. Tongue tied. Because in most, not all, but most apocalypse lit RPGs, they always keep that like fantasy aspect of it, where it's sword and shields, magic system, and everything. Not a lot of people use guns or the alien technology.
Right.
We straight up blasting bitches in this book.
Absolutely.
So we like to straight up blast bitches in this book, and I like how every time Cammy's trying to be, tactic based and very like strategic. Polly goes, "Come get some motherfuckers." Oh, I fucking love Polly. I can't get over it. He's my favorite character in the entire book. Zechler asks, "What are the Lumen really up to?" Dave.
Well, that's a loaded question. um,
Well, this is a loaded podcast.
yeah, the Lumen are the Rory's race of aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they're similar to the growth, and as they have like a community based existence where they have not a shared intelligence, but they can uh, pull from the knowledge of all their other beings. Whereas the growth are a collective intelligence. The more of them they're around each other, the smarter they are. Um, and the Lumen kind of lead the Galactic Union, and
Cool story. So I
sorry,
started
I
the
just
last book.
saw Aaron's
Uh,
Aaron's message. Yeah, but they lead the Galactic Union, and they're kind of the UN of the galaxy. They're not necessarily uh, a, a country in and of themselves, but they're a collective of all these different races, and they're uh, basically looking out for the well-being of the entire galaxy.
so does every new person to enter the system get a lumen?
They are kind of your tutorial. Like
Okay.
they're not with you forever. Paulie fired his.
Yeah.
um,
Always straight up said, "Get the fuck out of my head."
right. Um, but they're here to ease your transition, and they're effective, sorta. Sometimes they don't give you all the information. Sometimes they sugarcoat things a little too much, but that's what they're there for. They're there to hold your hand and ease you into this new way of life. Um, we're gonna see in the next book Rory's role shift a little bit.
Okay.
I can't get into it too much, but we kind of saw at the end of the first book that start to take shape, and he's Rory's kind of inspired by Pathfinder a little bit from Apex Legends, and we'll get to see him act a little bit more in that capacity.
Gotcha. Also, Dave, I got to send you a message really quickly,
Oh,
so
no problem.
you can look out for that. So, obviously, with Holly firing his, does that like cripple Polly's like effects later on, or will it be
Well,
Can't bring Polly
lost?
down.
No,
I
Polly's the strongest character. Polly's ready to fight God.
um, Polly Paulie lives kind of a charmed life. Like
Okay.
he was he was if you were to think about how Paulie acts now in normal society, it probably doesn't always work out for him. But now that everything's gone the way it's gone, Paulie's right at home,
Gotcha.
and he can. So I can't promise there won't be repercussions for him firing his lumen, but just with the way Paulie is, he's not gonna. He'll take it in stride.
Okay. Well, that's I was curious to see how that, or I'm not was curious. I am curious to see how that's gonna affect Polly because like it makes me a little nervous for Polly's well-being because I Dave, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. Please don't kill Polly. Please don't permadeath him, which
Don't
will lead
permit.
us into my next segment of talking with the mechanics. But please do not permadeath him. I love Polly. I will cry, and I will throw the book.
I can't
I have
promise
thrown a book
anything,
before. I have thrown a
but
book multiple times before for killing characters I love. You should see my copy of the Deathly Hollows that I got when I was in 6th grade. That book is beat to hell. Anyways, brings me to my next segment of the death respawns because
yes.
there's no true deaths as of right now.
Well,
Well,
Well, kind of. Well, for our main cast.
as long as there's Wi-Fi connection, there's no
Yeah.
deaths. There's no permit.
Which, what it reminds me of is the Borderlands respawn system.
okay. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, I kind of see it a little bit like TF2.
Okay.
When you're playing
Thanks,
basically
Aaron.
any game format in TF2 back in the day, you just got that timeout. And in the game, it's 30 seconds, but in the book, it takes a little bit longer to rebuild a human body. So bring back Breck.
Love my boy Breck.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Stardivers. Love Stardivers.
Oh, I love Stardivers too. That's honestly, I was into Stardivers before I even knew Steven, truly. Like
Same.
I
Same,
was
actually.
I was really into Stardivers, and then I ended up I can't remember what Steven and I teamed up for. It might have been Get Good, and I was just like, oh, I can't tell you enough how much I love your book. Um, so it was a very good. And Steven
So,
and I work on all kinds of stuff now. So
there's some really cool stuff in the works for Stardivers. I can't talk about yet, but I know about some cool stuff that's happening. So one of our comments on the Twitch page, because I can't integrate that over here,
okay.
it says the GRRM method. Scene 1, introduce an awesome character. Scene 2, gratuitous sex dingly dangly do scene. Scene 3, make you like the character more. Scene 4, your dude just got shanked. But in which way? In which way did they get shanked?
Well, you know
Yeah,
I'm,
TJ.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Book two, it already has a title.
Ooh,
It's once I get done with Darklands Online 4, we're just jumping right into writing book two. The title
hell
for
yeah.
book two is Two Guys, an Alien, and the Apocalypse.
Fuck yes.
And
Fuck yes.
the two guys, that's Cameron and it's Polly, and the alien is Rory,
And the apocalypse is
and
the
the
apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Bonus
Yes.
points if they die mid sex scene. John, thank you. Thank you, John. We love you, buddy. Bonus
So,
points if there's a necromancer involved too. because then they can just revive them.
Well, I mean, we do have magic.
We do.
It's not a big part of this book, but we could always. I'm not gonna promise anything I don't plan on doing. I'm not putting a necromancer in. I don't think.
All
At
right,
least the
so
next one.
well, let's ask this then.
Okay.
Going into book two, are there going to be more games that give a different vibe of inspiration for book two than you did book one?
Um, not so much. It's gonna be probably more along the same vibe as Titanfall, Apex Legends,
Okay.
your battle royales. Uh,
These battle royales.
but
Hmm.
it's there are going to be some different mechanics introduced.
Okay.
We kind of hinted at some of them, which are the more ability based things. Uh, he was Cameron was just at the cusp of that at the end of book one. There'll be some different quest formats, which I can't get into too much just because they're still on the drawing board. But I have a couple ideas in mind that are going to be fun, and we'll touch on some of the guys we've only just met in the book one. Um, we're going to see more regular outfit and squad based things.
Okay.
But as far as games themselves, but like we're not going to switch it up and go into Aliens versus Predator or anything like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we got there's some fun stuff planned.
Okay. We got some fun shit going on. All right. I'm down. I'm down. Damn it. I'm really wanting book two now.
It's going to be a little bit like I've got the opening scene written, and I got a whole lot of notes.
All right. I'm just looking at something really quickly because I had the number and then I lost it. So, looking at the ratings right now, we're sitting at a 4.3 star rating on Kindle
Okay,
out of 44 ratings, which is that's good. That's really good.
absolutely.
And then let's go to Audible really quickly because on Audible we are sitting at 18 ratings, 4.5 stars. There's some pretty good ones. There's one by Richard Stevens. I wonder who that is. T. Hoffman. Like we got some pretty good reviews here. We love to see it. Let's see. Where's Guns, Beer, and Ice Cream by Derek. I don't know who that is. He might be in the chat. I think I don't know. But if you like the first person video games, then this is the book for you. Big guns, over the top action, and a hilarious cast of characters that that go down smoother than Kool Aid. Dan and Jessica knocked the performance out of the park and made it feel like you were listening to a movie. Can't wait for book two. Facts, straight facts, because there's a lot of good books. So just getting some facts straight really quickly before I go into my next segment. Uh, yes, Derek, that guy knows good books. He's brought a lot to our reading list with tagging people. Okay, so right now though, we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the episode, probably later tonight actually, where you have a chance to win an audio copy of The Guy Who Accidentally Started the Apocalypse. We have 3 codes total. That goes for so you have a chance to win as a U.S. listener or UK listener. So just stay tuned. We're going to touch on that here in a little bit more. Just wait, bear with me. But hey,
Yeah.
Joel, what else do you want to talk about? You're being quiet
Um. Yeah, my
over there.
bad. Uh, I want to talk about how refreshing it is to have a reverse harem situation.
Uh,
That was just
yeah, I
a
was
thing
wondering
that
when this was
happened.
going to get brought up because we know how Richie likes his romance. Yeah. Was not ready for this one. Once again, shout out to Jessica. Gave it her all in this performance. She knocked it out of the park. So, Dave,
Yes.
how's it feel to write a reverse harem?
Oh, we can't say it's all that. It's
It's a reverse harem.
well, no, that is, yeah. But the book isn't necessarily.
No, the book's not. It's got a reverse harem in it, though.
Right. When you are promoting on Twitter, you meet a lot of different authors.
Yes.
And
God damn it, DJ.
and one thing I've seen is a lot of books with guys with abs, and um, sometimes you just paint over a regular person with, say, the color blue, and now he's an alien. So I kind of wanted to do a running gag with the reverse harem and kind of take the MC and put him in
John, no.
in a situation where uh, where it's a little bit different than what lit RPG uh, sees on a regular basis. So I kind of oh Jesus.
Next cover's got to have abs, per Steven. You know, it's got to happen now.
Well, he's the one that does my covers. So
All
Guess
right.
you're stuck with
Steven,
it
you know
now.
what to do. Oh, hey, look, that fell. Neat.
but yeah, I was just like, it's more as like a running gag, and I wanted to just kind of throw it out there as a situation where he's being actively recruited and not necessarily interested in joining, but it ends up in a very Larry David Seinfeld kind of situation where it's awkward for him and he's got to deal with it. Instantly 4 likes. Maybe reverse harem is something we should look at for lit RPG.
All right, well, I guess I mean we have plenty of harems in lit RPG and game lit. Why not a reverse harem? Let's do it.
That's why I said I was like, it was a little refreshing. Not gonna lie.
It was. It really it threw me through a loop because we know my library's full of some spiciness, and it's always just male centered, multiple women. It's never female centered with multiple men.
And like I said, I didn't want it to be a focus of the book, but I kind of wanted it to be something different, and just it's a gag as far as Cameron's concerned.
And Polly just cracking jokes about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, Paulie's the punchline guy. Like he gets all the best lines,
He does.
and he gets to have a lot of fun at Cameron's
Jesus
expense.
Christ. Oh my god. Fucking hell. Oh shit. Right, John. No. All right. It's been a while since we've done Let's Break Rich. All right, we're breaking Rich tonight, apparently. Last week was bullying. This week it's breaking. What's next? All right. So, we're going to talk a little bit about characters here because we've touched base on them, but I think Cameron really grows as a character from the start to the end. Polly stays the same from when we meet him in chapter 8 to the end of the book. Which I'm happy we meet Polly so early on. Because Polly's such a damn good character. I don't even want to post the rest of these comments. I really don't. All right, we're going through it. All right, TJ's is pretty tame. We're good there. That's another book title right there. John with God damn it, why? You guys are gonna revoke my privileges now. I'm not gonna be able to stream anymore. Whips and chain and pillow fight at Dragon Con. No, that just sounds awful. How We Broke Rich, Book One, a series by Richie's mom. God damn it, TJ! Fucking hell! Why no nicknames like Cam Ram?
Oh, there's a deep cut there.
Tell us more, Dave.
Well, that's like one of the first lines for Paulie. When we meet Paulie, he immediately goes to a nickname, and Cameron shuts him down. He's like, "No, we're not doing nicknames, Paulie." And I think from that moment on, you get the dynamic between those two guys.
Jake
Like,
Peralta and Captain Holt.
right. Paulie wasn't even necessarily Cameron's friend before the apocalypse. It was his buddy's cousin. And they get thrown together for the good of all.
Oh, good God. Oh my God. All right. I'm waiting for my admin privileges to be revoked. It's been a fun run, guys. We did 3 seasons. Sorry, 3 levels because this is a lit RPG podcast.
That's right.
Which I am happy we ended up going with the leveling system for our seasons instead of like books because it's game. Geneva, you walked into unhinged bullshit. That's what you walked into. It's been relentless bullying of me. Yeah. So I'm gonna need an expediting on the wings and beer as soon as I get to Dragon Con at this point. I hate everyone.
Have yourselves a beer and ice cream party.
Oh, hell yeah.
No,
We're totally not going to bring a whole minibar in the car with us.
Judas fucking Priest. Nope, not posting that one. Nope, I'm sorry, can't do it. Anyways, so obviously Cammy, he fucking hell. John, you did it. You broke me. All right. Joel, take over for me. I need to breathe.
So,
Real quick.
let's talk about plant-based kaijus.
Yes, absolutely.
That was definitely an interesting scene. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, I think a lot of people in lit RPG would agree that there's a lack of kaijus. We have some.
Have a good one, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, Aaron. I wanted to include a kaiju just because, John.
I think it definitely added some variety on the monster types.
And I wanted to increase the scale. Like we get a lot of, big is 10, 14 feet tall.
Get
An
a
ogre's
dragon.
big. Yeah, sometimes you get a dragon, but I wanted something big, and so we had to go kaiju, which I was even very proud of this moment when I had Paulie mispronounce kaiju and we spelled it out phonetically in the book, and Daniel caught right on to that, calling him a kaiju. But
Fucking Dan.
yeah, and we'll have some more kaiju fun in book 2. Like that was just a taste in book 1.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I was like wondering how big is this frickin' basement? Like, is it just like Hollow Earth theory at this point? Like,
It is it's not really Hollow Earth. I wish I could say it was, but it's not. It's an underground cavern that is very big.
So kind of like a dungeon cave type thing.
Yeah. There's some of that going on.
big enough to fit a kaiju.
Absolutely. And it's I'm dancing around some stuff here because it's going to get into spoilers for book two, and I don't want to do that. We hinted at it a little bit. Just how long have the growth been on Earth?
Oh gosh.
And the kaiju beneath the city is part of that.
Ah, good God. So we fought some fucking kaijus. Just guns. We're just let's talk about some of the weapon types, and I'm losing my
Absolutely.
train of thought at this point. I'm a shitty host tonight. This is not my best work. Oh my God. Anyways,
So go ahead.
so what was the main inspiration of just obviously because it's a lit FPS, but like what made you want to do the lit FPS aspect of it?
um, I want something different. I get
Okay.
tired of the same old thing. Like there's and nothing against it. There are so many books that are like your standard MMO.
Right.
And I was like, I love first person shooters, so I wanted to do one. But I
What's
didn't
your
want to
go-to first
do
person shooter?
right. I didn't want to do Call of Duty because I'm not knowledgeable enough.
Okay.
So then I thought, well, what is there? Then if you look at Apex Legends, which I circle around to that a lot, the guns in Apex Legends are awesome. And I took a lot of inspiration from that. Like they're space age crazy guns, and the same thing with Borderlands. Like the Jacobs is one of my favorites from Borderlands as a manufacturer. You know, if you have to shoot it twice, then it wasn't a Jacobs.
True.
And that's
True.
kind of my inspiration on the guns. I wanted fantasy guns, so,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what these are. Keep mispronouncing Titanfall.
So okay, because obviously some of the guns from or Apex is the battle royale Titanfall
Right,
that's because it's respawn and like there's even homages to Titanfall because Valkyrie's dad
absolutely.
you kill in Titanfall too. Spoiler alert, but the game's been out for almost 10 years at this point, so it doesn't matter. What is your go-to loadout? I guess like if you find this specific gun in Apex, what is your go-to?
My go-to. I like the LMGs.
Okay.
LMGs are nice in the Apex. I've never been a sniper guy. Uh, is it the when they had the double tap trigger for was it the EV8 shotgun?
Yeah.
That was really awesome.
Still have it. They still have
Oh, did they?
it. They brought it
It
back actually. Hmm.
I yeah they'd taken it away there for a while, and I don't know. I would say LMGs I'm big on. Things that shoot a lot, stuff that's good at close range. I'm not great at aiming, so I need to shoot a lot, and that's kind of where I go. Let me think. Man, it's been a second since I've been able to sit down and play Apex.
Like for me, I go straight for the alternator if I can find one or an R301 as
Okay,
my
yeah,
automatic. Maybe a
th-
flatline. It depends. If I'm
those
gonna
are
run a
both good.
shotgun combo with it, I'll obviously use the Peacekeeper because Peacekeeper's fucking overpowered and they just reworked it.
Normally
Yeah,
when I
that's
play with Rich, he's a little all over the place when it comes to guns.
It really just depends.
Me, I always have to have the longbow and the
Joel loves
alternator.
his longbow. Let me tell you, if he finds a fucking longbow, he's like, "Hey, ping it immediately, ping it immediately." I'm like, "All right, dude, here's a longbow." And there was one game where I picked up the longbow and I didn't tell Joel, and he had all the equipment for it, and I was just using it.
well, if if you're
TJ,
looking at
riot shields are not
guns,
in Apex, or else yeah, Joel would be the riot shield user.
I actually used a riot shield when I played
Use a
Oh, the Tom
pan
Clancy
from
game.
PUBG.
Um,
Oh, Siege, Rainbow Six Siege.
no. The
Oh,
Division.
ooh, Division's a good game too.
Yeah,
See,
but
when I think of Riot Shields, my first thing goes to Rainbow Six Siege and Call of Duty because I use the characters and Siege. Uh, yeah, I'm an asshole on Siege when it comes to that. Because who is it? Is it Monty? Monty's the Riot Shield user, and Blitz.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
It's been a minute. My son's played a lot more Siege than I have. Um,
I love Siege. And then, of course, when Modern Warfare 2 just dropped last year, we were playing it a lot. And then we decided, hey, let's get our knives gold. So we did a Riot Shield and combat knives.
oh, okay.
We were assholes. It was awesome. We were the toxicity,
There you go.
which there's a lot of toxicity in first person shooters. Like, it's like, I don't know why that's the mindset. Because I remember, when I was a kid playing Battlefield 2 with my dad on the computer, like, at the end of the game, you got a GG. Like, like if something cool happened, you're like, oh, that was awesome. And now, like, ever since I would say, I don't even know if really the original Xbox era with Halo was super toxic, but like Modern Warfare 1 and onwards, ever since then, it's just been an absolute toxic fest.
I think it's always been there. It's just when voice chat became accessible for all,
Yeah.
it became much more prevalent. And uh, when video games became more mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
first person shooters were kind of at the head of that. So now you got guys that are toxic in real life playing video games. They're not, I don't want to say introverts because, you weren't necessarily an introvert playing as a gamer back in the day before it got mainstream, but there was a certain amount of meekness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like things were much more subdued, and then then the bros came along for first person shooters, and it got real toxic real fast. Like trash talk has always been a thing in sports, but then it came to first person shooters.
Ooh, Zeckler's got a damn good question. Will we see some cameos again in book 2 for Z and Breck?
I can't promise
Thanks, Josh.
specifics. Um, I have one author that I have a conversation where we allude to him. A little bit of a joke there. It's a Pauly conversation.
Hell yeah.
But nothing's final on it. Like this is just a note I got.
Have a good one, TJ. We love you.
Hey, thanks for coming out, TJ. Um, I can't promise we won't do some more Tuckerizations and have maybe some new characters. Maybe Breck pokes his head in there again. I don't know. It could happen.
I'm just waiting for like there to be like that radio station in like Fallout.
Okay.
You have that radio station, and you have Rich Dolphus and Survivor Hunter doing a radio show, and then they get attacked and get killed. I figured that would be happening.
You never know. It could happen. It could not happen.
I'm
It's
just
hard to
waiting
say.
for Rory to give Cam wall hacks.
Give a wall hacks.
Just be like,
Hey, you
game
can see
over.
through. Aim assist as well. Give him that.
Yeah,
give him that
Amos.
Chronos.
And you know what? Since most
He's a controller player.
interior-
He's a controller player.
most interior walls and buildings are really thin. Wall hacks would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like shooting through drywall.
Yeah,
It's an
you
idea.
got that full metal jacket and everything. Like just start shredding aliens through the wall. Get some
Right.
guerrilla warfare going on in there.
Absolutely.
Oh, that would be a killer scene right there. Have Cam and Polly just get a little unit to surround the outside walls of a room and just have them spray and pray. That would be awesome.
Well, spray and pray is kind of their go-to as
Mhm.
as opposed to Sandra Stallions. They are tactical. They're thought out. Paulie and Cameron, they're just a couple of cowboys. Like they're ad libbing everything. Even when Cameron's trying to, oh Babs,
Shout out to
we'll
Babs.
we'll we'll see the Kangaroo Crew. We'll probably see some more of the Kangaroo Crew.
He's probably one of
The
my
controller-based
favorite
alien
characters.
race got auto aim, just like console controller players FPS. Hey, I actually turn aim assist off, so you know what? At me. I hate playing mouse and keyboard. I really do. I
uh,
am better at controller than I am mouse and keyboard.
See, I grew up mouse and keyboard, so I have to play mouse and keyboard.
See, I did for a little bit because, like I said, I played Black Hawk Down on the PC. I played Battlefield 2, and of course, like for MMOs, had to have that. What are we tagging me? Why are we tagging me, Steven? What I do? I just see my name. What I do? But I mean, that's what I grew up, controller because I had a PlayStation and an Xbox. Oh, you bastard! You're adding me. I see, bastard. I still love you. It's okay. Um, but like, I just I've never been good at mouse and keyboard. I haven't,
Okay.
especially with shooters and everything. Like, I'm better at controller based and everything, especially with my movement. I'm like, I can do movement like PC players can on controller, you know, with limitations. But like, there are certain games I will play mouse and keyboard if I have to, but I prefer not to.
Gotcha. And I'm dating myself here, but when I started out playing first person shooters, we're talking Wolfenstein 3D,
Great game.
Doom. There there was no controller.
Right.
So starting, up through we got Duke Nukem 3D and Quake when we first started playing multiplayer on LANs and
Mm-hmm.
online, it was still no controller. So it's ingrained into me. Now, a great example is my son, he'll be playing Fortnite and using a controller and he's building like a madman. Like
Right.
how can you do that? But it's just all how you were raised and what you
The
grew up with.
adapting and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my very first person shooter game was Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, the very first one
Okay.
on my computer in my grandma's basement. We had that, and we had, oh, what else did we have? I think that and like Diablo were like the games we had down there because it was just
Okay.
they were my dad's, and he just gave them to us. So we played those religiously. And I mean, even then, like, it was very basic. Like, you didn't really aim when playing Rainbow Six, if I'm remembering correctly. It was more just like, the Y axis was not a thing. It was just the X axis. So
Right.
aiming from left to right. That's really it. Where I know Doom, the original Doom and Quake and Wolfenstein 3D, you had to do the up down as well because there was different terrains of enemies.
Yeah, absolutely. And once multiplayer really took off, like
Mm-hmm.
mouse look became a big thing.
Right.
And now you're firing a rocket launcher at somebody and you're having to lead them with a rocket as they circle strafe around you. It changed everything. And now, with controllers, it's just the next evolution. And I haven't made that jump. I'm terrible with the controller.
It's, I guess it's just because I mainly grew up playing the PS2 and everything, and I had like all the James Bond games and
Okay.
like I didn't even grow up with GoldenEye. I grew up with, Agent Underfire and Nightfire because I didn't have an N64.
Okay.
But going back and playing, I mean, I played GoldenEye. I just didn't have it like religiously. Joel, did you have GoldenEye?
On
N64?
no, I don't think so.
I think my friend let me borrow his N64 so I could play it like when I was in middle school, but I never grew up with it. Everyone's like, "That's like the goated first person shooter." I was like, "It's not. It's not. I'm sorry. No. Oh." But we've kind of derailed and everything. But we've gotten a lot of good conversation around, the book. Any last minute uh, thoughts before we start wrapping up, Dave? Joel?
Uh, go read the book if you haven't. It's a
Well,
lot of fun.
obviously.
Yeah, listen to it. That's if you can get the audio. It's
Would you have a chance
great.
to win 3 copies?
That's
Or one
right.
of 3 copies?
Yeah, let's not give them all three to one person.
No.
That'd probably not be great.
And it is on Kindle Unlimited.
It is on Kindle Unlimited.
Available on paperback as well through Amazon.
It is. It's a chonky one.
It's a big boy.
It is.
Because I'm just gonna look it up. Guy who accidentally started the apocalypse on just because I'm curious. And I mean at that $15 price point for the paperback, that's a good price for 551 pages.
Yeah. I try to keep the price as reasonable as I can. I just want people to read the book. That's
It's
my thing.
and I might be an oddball here, but I mean I would even pay $30 for a paperback book just to support the author if it's, an author I liked. Because it's
I
good content.
I have paid quite a bit for some paperbacks.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's hard. I mean, the just the printing cost to get them much lower than what that is. It's difficult.
Right. We and I mean I got to get a new shelf for because my shelf is full at the moment of what's remaining of said shelf after it collapsed. And I like my paperbacks. I guess I'm a sucker for them and having them on my shelf, but I also love my Kindle
Oh yeah,
and I love my audio. So I'm like I like having the trifecta. And I mean there's some where I have the Kindle version, the paperback version, and the audio version.
absolutely. I'm the exact same way. I
So,
the paperbacks are kind of my scalps. They're my trophies
mhm,
that I can look at from time to time.
right. And
Uh,
sometimes there's a little bit different stuff in the paperback version than it is on the Kindle version.
yeah,
Like
uh,
if I'm, which I know Steven's in the chat, he'll have to remind me. Actually, no, it didn't even have a Kindle version. Never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say Vampire Sorcerer, but I don't think I think it just the first book had a paperback and the rest of it's just audio, if I'm remembering correctly. But like the Vampire Sorcerer paperback has little artwork pieces in it. It's fucking awesome. It's really cool.
right, right.
And then I didn't know if the first Kindle had that or not. I can't remember. Yikes. Don't yell at me, Steven. I'm sorry. Um, but I mean, also, omnibuses are kind of a collector's item for me as well
Okay, yeah.
because I just got one in the mail and it's it's a chonker.
Oh yeah.
So, but we'll go ahead and start wrapping up with final thoughts. Joel, do you have
I
any final thoughts?
I did want to say there needs to be a wizard spinoff. I would enjoy that.
Oh,
I know this series does not need to be a wizard series because it's like FPS genre and it's really good. But secretly, I need a wizard spinoff.
you know, I'm not going to rule it out. It could
What are
happen.
we not ruling out?
A
A
wizard
wizard
spinoff.
spinoff.
I'd be down for that.
That's what I said.
I'd be
Um,
down for that. Is that it?
never played Hexen.
Never played
Yeah,
Hexen?
Hexen and Heretic. Those are some old school games. I think Hexen was in the first Quake engine. Like it's those go back a ways. That's in the way back.
I'm looking at it right now because I just looked it up on Steam. It's $1.49 right now on Steam.
It's probably worth $1.49. Not that
And
it's a
then
bad game, but it,
the Hexen or the Heretic Hexen pack, which has Heretic Shadow of the Serpent Riders, Hexen 2, Hexen Beyond Heretic, and Hexen Dark Kings of the Death Kings of the Dark Citadel is $2.49 for that 4 pack.
I
That's
mean,
actually pretty fucking cool.
you can't buy a coffee for that.
That's a good deal right there. That's some gameplay hours right there. And I mean, there was this first person shooter that came out a few years ago, and the second one just came out recently. It's called Project Warlock. It's like an homage to like Doom and Quake and everything, and it's
Okay.
so much fun. Oh, it
Okay.
is so good. And you actually have to do like find the keys to unlock certain doors. There's secrets from just like certain walls. Tons of guns. It's so fucking good. I love it. If you haven't played it, played it. That's all I can really say.
Right on.
But my final thoughts is yes, read The Guy Who Accidentally Started the Apocalypse. Listen to the audio if you can, because it is damn good. And is it just double checking because I wasn't 100% sure. It is not a podium book, right?
No, it is
Okay.
not.
I couldn't remember if this one was podium audio or not.
Nope. This
Anytime I
is
see
just
Daniel's name, I instantly look to see if it's a podium book.
nope. This is just set up with through Daniel.
Daniel does a damn good job. Shout out to Daniel and Jessica. They both kill it in
Oh,
this book. They've
I
had
love the work they did with it.
oh, they did so good. And when because I thought originally, like I said earlier, it was going to be David and Jessica, and then when Steven told me he's like, no, it's Daniel and Jessica 3, I was like, oh, never fucking mind. All right, let's go. I'm all for it. But yeah, that's pretty much my final thoughts. Read the book. It's really good. It's really freaking good. So we're gonna dive into our other segment we like to do while wrapping up of hey, what you been reading? So
Okay.
we'll start with Dave. Dave, what you been
All
reading?
right. I came prepared because I remember you guys do this.
Yeah.
Um, I always got a couple books I'm working on,
Mm-hmm.
and I listen to audiobooks to and from work. So the first book is my current audiobook that I'm just finishing up, called Finwell Bay.
Okay.
It's Shaman's Tales from the Golden Age of the Solar Clipper. It is by Nathan Lowell. It is or sci-fi. It's not lit RPG,
Okay.
but this is the second series. It's a side series in
Okay.
his Tales of the Golden Age of the Solar Clipper. It's a phenomenal science fiction read. Can't recommend his stuff enough. So Nathan Lowell is one you should look up. Uh, the book I'm reading with my eyes uh, is The Void Burned Queen, a five-fold universe space opera. It's the
Okay.
second book in the Zach Landstrom series by DJ Bowden. He's a little bit more familiar to the readers of Lit RPG. Um, that's it's another science fiction book. It's through James Hunter's publishing
Shadow
group.
Alley Press.
Yes, Shadow Alley Press. Thank you. Those are the two big ones I'm working on. I'm going to be doing a Dungeon Crawler Carl after I get done with Finwell Bay, just because we know Book 6 is coming on audio very soon.
We're gonna talk about that in a second because of the announcement that was made today. So, oh boy.
But Book 5 I haven't listened to yet, so that's what
Oh,
I've been saving it because I wanted.
Butcher's Masquerade is fantastic.
I've heard so many good things, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
it's so good.
I'm waiting. I was waiting because I knew Book 6 was coming out in September, so I was timing it up. So it's almost time, and that's kind of those are the books I've been into most recently.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
Yeah, that's
All right.
those are the ones I got.
Hey, Joel.
Yeah.
Hit me with that list.
Uh, do you want the list since like 2 weeks ago in our last stats on stats, or the week just this last
Well, you did.
week?
You gave
Because
us.
we did.
You gave some for last week, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So give. I mean, you could do both in case
Since
people didn't see that
okay,
last week.
since then, if you haven't seen it, go back and see it. I guess I don't know. Should be
Well,
somewhere.
that one was only on the Legion. It wasn't. We couldn't get it on Twitch, so
Okay,
yeah, might as well just go back.
okay. So, Defiance of the Fall, Book 10 came out. That was fantastic. Um, what else was there? There was Dawn of the Void. Book 1 came out on Audible, and Book 3 came out on Kindle. That
Welcome in,
is a
Harvey.
fantastic series. Um, definitely read up on that one. Since then, I went back through, did like Dakota Kraut's Implode. I finished. Apparently, I didn't finish that up, but I went back and actually finished it.
Is that the
And
most recent one?
yeah, that's the
Okay.
most recent one. And then I read Amanacida, which is Dennis Vanderkerken's Arturian's Archives.
This
I
book.
think he's up to like book 15 now.
Yeah, that's book 15. Book 16 is gonna be the next release, which, if I remember correctly, what he told us, that's gonna be some good shit. That's gonna be some really
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah. Also, uh, World Keeper came out by Justin Miller on Kindle, which, if you don't know, World Keeper has like some of the best mechanics in a little RPG, which is saying something because I'm like a super fan of mechanics. Um,
It's true.
Other than that, the other day, Rich told me that
You're
Jay
welcome.
Boyce has a new book out with Clover City. If you
Lotus Lake book 2.
yes, I think it's Mystic Mage is like the serious name. I'm not 100% sure, but
I can look really quickly because I'm here
Mystic
on Audible.
uh,
I
Rise
got
of
it.
the Mystic Mage is
Yeah.
the serious name, but that one's really good. Lotus Lake was fantastic, so I about flipped my shit whenever Rich told me that Clover City was out, and apparently you can only get the audio on uh,
Through Mountaindale Press.
Mountaindale Press. Somehow
Yeah.
I looked, I couldn't find it. Rich had to send me a link, but it's up somewhere if you like the series. It's really good, and you should go read it or listen to it. Other than that, that's what I've been up to. I literally just powered through Clover City and finished it, and it was everything I wanted it to be. But yeah. So Rich, what you been reading?
Whew, okay, so we'll start with audio. For audio, I did my re-listen of The Guy Who Accidentally Started the Apocalypse. I did a reread of Infiltrate by A. Knowles because the second book in that series, Divide, came out. So I did a listen of that one. Fantastic, which that's Alex Knowles, for people who are wondering. Um, let's see. I'm currently doing A. Knowles. You know what I'm saying, Zeckler. You fucking know. I'm not saying a part of a body. Fucking Christ. Um, I am re-listening to Space Seasons, the omnibus right now by Don Chapman because I was wanting that sci-fi itch after re-experiencing The Guy Who Accidentally Started the Apocalypse. So I'm currently working my way through that. I'm almost done with book 1, and then obviously I'll be going to book 2. For Kindle, though, and actual reading, I read a little enemies to lover romance novel that got recommended to me off TikTok called Stolen by the York Commander. It was interesting. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot. So, yeah. I'm going to be starting The Warhounds by J.D. Glasscock because that just came out, and I'm actually really excited for that one because it looks really good. Um, did my Stardivers reread for book 2, and I'll be doing book 3 and 4 after Dragon Con. And then also in the mail the other day, I got this by Alex Knowles, the Bright Lord Omnibus, which has
Ooh,
books 1 through 7. It's a chonkers.
that's a good series.
It is, and I mean the text is kind of small, but I'm okay with it because it's 7 books,
Oh
and
yeah.
it is a total of 815 pages of text.
Woo.
So It's good. I'm already done with book one, and I'm just powering my way through it. So it depends on what I'm in the mood for when I start reading at night on what I pick up, I guess.
Gotcha.
Um, but my pre-order list for Audible just grew because Everybody Loves Large Chess book 8 or book 9. Is it book 9? Jackson, that's the title, is up for pre-order and it comes out on the 25th. So hype. And then it's going live. It wasn't supposed to be up already, but Matt said Audible UK kind of jumped the gun. But we have the audio pre-order going up for Dungeon Crawler Carl 6, and it's featuring two people other than Jeff Hayes for this time around, which is Travis Baldry. So shout out to Travis. I wasn't shocked when I saw that, but the one that got me is the other guest narrator on this damn book is fucking Patrick Warburton. Joe Swanson, Kronk, you know, Patrick Warburton. I am so freaking excited now. And I know I'm not going to be doing anything at DragonCon other than listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl 6. So that pre-order is going up, I think this weekend, and I'm ready for it. But that's been my reading list for the past few weeks. And when we go live next week for Jeff Hayes' episode, I'm probably gonna just have a few books done, but nothing really any major because I'm not really allowed to listen to them at work anymore. I got in trouble.
Uh,
Yeah, that's how they get you. But other than that, yeah. So earlier in the episode, we said we had codes to give away.
yeah,
So to enter, I'm gonna let Mr. Dave set the parameters for that, like either sharing a gift or whatever. But make sure you're following us on Twitter at Stats on Stats Lit, and sorry, I guess X, and then also following Dave on Twitter as well.
absolutely. Yeah. Let's. Do you want to put out a tweet,
Yeah, whatever you said as the
Rich?
parameters, I'll set the tweet.
And we'll say maybe your favorite first-person shooter. How about that?
Okay, and I'll
And
enter. I'll do a name generator like a wheel, and so
yeah,
that way it's not like,
absolutely.
oh, we're picking. So this way we are truly picking them at random.
Yeah, sounds great. I completely spaced and did not see Steven mention. He wanted to know what I was working on, and he knows what I'm working on, but that was his hint to have me announce that, hey, Darklands Online Book 4 is almost done.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
probably in the next, within the next
oh,
month, it'll hit. And for that, Steven and I have been cooking up some new covers for the entire series.
that's actually what I was getting ready to message you about because he's shown me them and they are fucking hot.
Ah, okay,
They are
okay,
hot.
yes, yes.
Holy crap, they are good. I mean, I like the original covers. Don't get me wrong. Holy shit.
Yeah, these are an upgrade though, and I brought him in to do book four's cover. We hashed it out. We are keeping the same motif, and he's like, "How about this?" And then it just went off the rails, and we just scrapped everything. We're like, we're doing everything. So I'm really excited. Uh, we we'll probably tease those out here a little closer to book four's release once because I'm gonna have to redo some things to get new paperbacks made and all that. But that's something else exciting we're Steven and I are working on, and we'll have that within the next month for Darklands Online 4, and then the whole redo.
I'm trying to debate now if I want to pick up the paperback copies of Darklands now or waiting for the recovers.
Well, if you want the
Mm,
existing covers, you're gonna have to get them now because once they go live, they're gone. I
I
have no
know.
more copies myself.
I know. I'm debating it. I got to damn it. Fuck. Thanks, Steven. All right. Well, there goes my wallet for Dragon Con. All right. Well, this has been Stats on Stats. Please join us next week at the same time here, hopefully in the Legion. If I don't get my, you know, permissions revoked because y'all been mean tonight. Shout out to TJ, even though he's gone. bullying me. Thank you. And then also on Twitch, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna try to do this multi-streaming platform and just kind of keep track of the chats. But next week, Jeff Hayes will be joining us. You know him as the man of so many damn voices. I don't know how many at this point, but you know Jeff Hayes, Soundbooth Theater. He'll be joining us, and then that should be our last show before Dragon Con, where we will be doing lives at Dragon Con. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to do it. So if you guys want to see any Dragon Con content, please shoot me a message and just say, hey, you should try to get like an interview with this person or this person. I'll see what I can muster up because I'm going to be working my ass off down there. I'm going to even try to get Geneva to appear for a few minutes if I can, because we all love Geneva here. Joel, did your headset die? He took his headset off, so I'm guessing it died. But everyone, hope you have a
Hello.
wonderful evening. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for having me.
And Dave, thank you for joining us. All right. So it went good. Joel, are we still live on your end? Joel, in the stream. No, just press end stream. What are you doing? I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to get his headset to work.
Yeah.
I have no way of
There we
overriding
go.
him either, so we're just
We're
gonna
good.
sit here.
We're good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this
There we
is
go. We're good.
stats on stats after hours.
We're good. Sorry.
There we go.
That's the
Cool.
stream, right?
In the stream.
Okay.